Hello, Helena. It's Emily McVeigh, Executive Director of the United Way of the Lewis and Clark area. We're here for this week's United Way Partner Spotlight with Helena Food Share. Tim's joining us today. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And lots of exciting things happening at Helena Food Share.
Lots and lots.
I'm sure we all know already,
Yes.
but tell us how things are going with the new building plans and all the things that are happening there.
So we're the campaign is moving along. We're at about 85% of our total goal of $10.3 million, which is, we're feeling really good about that. We're just about to cross the $8 million mark, which is fantastic. And construction, we've been given the go-ahead, and construction will begin August 1st on the old Caird Engineering site. And we're going to have a groundbreaking right before that, too. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be on the 27th. It's a Thursday at 8:30 a.m. And the address, I'm still learning this, is 1280 Boulder Avenue.
Okay. Old Caird site.
Yep.
For those of us who, as I was telling you how old I am and how long I've been here, we all know the old Caird site. It's been sitting there kind of ugly, kind of vacant for a long, long time. So we're all very excited to see something new happening there. So kind of crosses over. It's on Montana, it's on Boulder, it's on...
And it's going to be sort of the back half of that lot, so the east side of the lot.
Yeah, so if you're going through Malfunction Junction, what has been just hanging out there as a kind of ugly lot.
It's going to get repurposed
it's not going to be ugly anymore.
Something very useful.
Right, so come down July 27th?
27th, Thursday the 27th at 8:30.
8:30?
Yep, and anyone is welcome. So.
Okay. And there'll be a groundbreaking.
There'll be a groundbreaking. We'll have, we'll turn some dirt over, and then we're going to have, which Mosaic Architecture has supplied us with some like 3D dimensional walkthroughs that we can do. So we'll be able to on-site sort of like walk people through and say, hey, this is the kitchen. This is
fun.
So it's going to be very fun to like be on-site and see those places 3D sort of in real space.
Sure, get an idea of what it'll look like not too far in the future.
No,
like
hopefully,
really.
Hopefully, like the goal hopefully is by, fall of next year we'll be ready to make some moves, so.
Nice. So you get the golden shovels and the hard hats and all the
yes, all of that
all
stuff.
The dignitaries.
There'll be some coffee and some pastries as well.
8:30,
so.
you got to have the coffee.
I know.
Yeah.
We figured it was a smart move because it'll be much cooler than 4:30 in the afternoon.
I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot. And you have a gift match going right now. You had a good a grant come in, or a match grant come in.
So the Otto Bremer Trust, they're out of Minnesota. They've supported us the past couple years with some, general operating funds. They've been super generous about that. And we talked to them, applied for a grant, and got a $250,000 matching grant, which is amazing. And that grant's, once we finish that $250,000, we will get their matching amount, which is, once we raise that $250,000, we'll get their matching amount. So we're trying to do it as fast as we can, so we can have some dollars in the bank when we get rolling at the end of the summer. But we're doing pretty good. We're about close to $100,000 of that $200,000 so far.
Yeah. So for every dollar somebody donates, they really are getting $2.
Exactly. Double.
Contribution for the project. Yeah.
And there's really not we have quite a while to get it taken care of, but the sooner the better, because then we actually get the check. But your dollars get doubled.
Yeah. And the closer you get to that 100% mark,
yes, I guess
you move on
closer
to
that. Exactly.
More other things, more projects that are obviously there's always things to be raising money for.
Yes.
Besides buildings. And
then we get to continue the work.
Yeah. So the building has got a lot of new components to it. There's been some plans kind of floating around out there that the community's been able to look at, some stuff on your website. So what's some of the new highlights of the new building?
One of the things we're excited about all of it, but it's going to have a much bigger lobby. There is no lobby in the current Helena Food Share, so it's people wait outside. Yeah. So there's going to be sort of a waiting room with restrooms, and it's going to be a much better, safer way to wait to get into
That'll be
the
nice
building
for the weather.
Yeah, yes. And it's they're just currently we fit about 7 people in with carts at a time, and there's always a line outside, and that was a big piece of making sure that we had that taken care of in the design. And we spent a lot of time on the sort of front vestibule and check-in area and all of that. And then that also the market space is going to be much bigger. So, hopefully it's big enough that there will be less lines and people will be able to just come in and shop, and there'll be less waiting, hopefully. And then the warehouse is going to be about triple the size, which is super because our warehouse is off-site right now, so that's it's not the best.
Right.
We have to take things there and then bring them back and unload, load them. There's a lot of moving back and forth, and now we'll be able to just store everything in that space. There'll be larger coolers as well. We're going to have 3 bigger coolers in there, so we'll be able to, save more produce for, if stuff comes in during the summer, we'll be able to save it and keep using it through the whole winter, which is amazing. And part of that also is there's a commercial kitchen that's going to be there, which we're all super excited about and think it's just a integral part of making it work, in a much bigger scale. So if, when zucchini time rolls around, and that's always a thing,
Yep.
and there's so many zucchini, we'll be able to make zucchini bread and soup and just freeze it for that time in January when that fresh produce isn't necessarily available, and we'll have it. So that's super exciting to us too.
Well, I might be jumping ahead, but I know one of the big things that you guys have moved to, like, donate money because you can buy things in bulk. It's really more financially responsible to do that. And then you can take those things once you have that big kitchen. It'll be a lot easier to repurpose those bulk items.
Yes.
And downsize them to a more reasonably usable size. Because I know we'll see things come in like 10 pounds of Italian seasoning. Like, what would you ever do with 10 pounds of Italian seasoning? You have to put them in the smaller packs and hand them out that way.
Yeah, and there's a lot more processing space too, kitchen and in the dry goods zone, where we'll be able to, if someone says, hey, we have, that's a perfect example. It's like, hey, here's 50 pounds bulk of seasoning.
Yeah.
We'll be able to have groups of volunteers come in and separate those out, and it'll be much more useful. And then things like soups, and we'll be able to have stuff happen in real time too. So if we get a pallet of potatoes in, we can cook it and make stuff in our kitchen and give it to people ready to eat. And it's just super exciting, and maybe be able to rescue more food as well, because we have that option. That's also a hope.
Right. Yeah, and that's a big piece of things, is the food rescue with all the grocery stores and restaurants around town.
Yeah,
that's a big job.
It is. It's a lot. I mean, it's
a lot of work.
It's a large amount. We have a crew that goes out every morning. There's 3 or 4 trucks that go out every single day and pick stuff up from all the grocery stores. And the hope is that in the future with that kitchen, we'd be able to maybe start going to restaurants or food service places, or the VA or something. If someone, I don't know, there was at some point someone said, oh, we had this banquet all ready to go, and it 2 feet of snow and nothing, what do we do with it? We would be able to be a spot in town where that stuff could get repurposed.
Sure. Yeah. That just opens the door for more opportunities.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And then we also have a community room. That's the other thing that's exciting. It's just a community available space, and there's a teaching kitchen in there as well. So we'll be able to have, classes and make it a little more flexible space than we have now.
Yeah, because you guys do the Charlie cart, and some teaching off of that.
Which is great. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's sort of like you sort of get a sample of stuff when it comes in the door, and you can check it out. But now we'll be able to say, hey, maybe if you want to show up before the doors open a half hour, we're going to do a class on how to use all these bulk things that come in. Or someone asked me the other day, is like, what is kohlrabi and how do you cook it?
That's good with just salt.
Exactly, right? But it's just sort of that, we'll be able to just do much more of that stuff and expand the programs that we have, which is super exciting.
But it does look like alien food, so it probably does.
True.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those, if people don't know how to cook or they don't know how to put together a meal, and they come to the pantry to shop, and they just start picking things, and you're going, what are you going to do with this random variety of things in your cart?
Right.
And so helping them understand that you have to pick X, Y, Z things, and then this actually makes a meal, and then you can add this, and it creates a second meal, and kind of piecing that
That's really
together.
the goal, like menu planning, and we do the harvest of the month as well. And it's, some people are like, what is farro? I don't know what that is. How do I use it? It's amazing, but you need, the ability to teach people that sort of as they arrive would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys, somebody from Food Share and somebody from St. Pete's and somebody from the MSU Extension all presented at Hometown Helena one week. And they talked about how it all works together and everybody helps the different teaching components and how everybody's friends and they all work together.
It is, and it's all a part. The nutritional health is super important for the whole community. It's like if you have healthy people, they can, be at work. They can be, not necessarily having to be at the doctor all the time or using that food as medicine sort of to just be healthier in general. So that's part of the goal too, is use this building to teach the whole community about all of that.
Yep. Great. So July's a busy month all around for everybody. What kind of events and programs do you have going on in July?
Yeah, so first thing coming up this weekend, and I'm not sure exactly when this will air, but Symphony Under the Stars is coming. Yes. It's Great Ladies in Jazz, I believe. Yep. And I still think this is the most amazing thing, that you bring your cans instead of rocks or other things to hold down your blankets. Yep. And the goal is to get maybe, I think, 23,000 pounds of food. This is clearly our biggest food drive of the year. It's, and you mentioned before the purchasing of food, that is great, but also this brings variety. Right. So instead of buying, 1,000 cans of this tomato soup, the stuff that people bring to this and to other food drives, it just is nice to be on the shelf and have someone be like, oh, that's my favorite box of cereal, or and it's just nice to have a little bit different, variety on the shelves for people to either learn about, like we were just talking about, what can I do with a giant jar of Kalamata olives or something like that, and it's great to be partnered with this event and making that happen, because that's a large amount of food that will last a long time.
Yeah, we'll be driving the golf carts again this year for people with disabilities. So we were stationed right next to you guys loading the trucks last year.
Yes.
Woo, you guys work.
Those boxes are heavy.
You guys have a workout loading those
50 pounds
trucks.
a crate, so 23,000 divided by 50, it's that many crates.
It was amazing to watch, though. So we parked our carts after everybody got into the show, and then you guys were just
keep going,
moving all night long.
We have just a great group of volunteers that come and go out and collect everything, and we're just so grateful that everyone that attends brings. And people aren't just putting down 4 cans.
No.
They'll be like 4 boxes of 12 cans. And
no, they'll bring like full flats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really amazing. And I think I have not heard of that approach anywhere else. And it's just such a cool, again, it's that everybody in the community participates. And
well, that's what, they've turned the symphony into a whole community thing where it's the Boy Scouts get to make a little money on the blanket run. Then the Food Share gets the food drive. United Way gets a little visibility with the golf carts, and we, AARP used to do that, and then they're starting to come back and partner with us on that project again. So it's there's so many nonprofits that get to be a little bit of part of that, or a big part of that.
Yes, right. No, it is. It's a huge event.
Yeah.
I love that it's one of the biggest events in Montana from number-wise of people attending. It's pretty great.
Helena is really good about making everything a community event. So,
that's awesome.
Of course we did.
It's fantastic.
What else is going on in July?
So we've got, so senior commodities are coming up. Those are going to be distributed Monday and Wednesday, July 24th and 26th. For eligible seniors that are 60 and up. And Monday is in East Helena at 2 p.m. at the mobile pantry that we run, and Wednesday is at our Lewis Street pantry here in Helena at 8 a.m.
And there is an income guideline for the senior commodities.
Yes, I don't know that number off the top of my head.
Well, they were talking about yesterday on the Helena Resource Advocates call, and they said there's an income guideline, but they work with people, and most seniors qualify, so don't be afraid to go ask.
Yes, exactly. And certainly you can call Helena Food Share ahead of time or look on our website, and all the income guidelines are there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on your list? There?
Let's see. That's the other big stuff. Groundbreaking. I'll hit that again. That's a big one. And then we're going to be at Alive at 5 on August 9th, coming up with Rocky Mountain Development Council as sort of the nonprofit feature that night. And we're excited. It's going to be a fun evening.
Yeah. Yeah, Alive at 5s are fun.
Yes.
Getting a little warm out there. The music is fun.
Yes.
It's a good time, though.
That is true.
All right. How can people support your building? How the new project's coming up?
There are, anybody can make a donation, and we really believe
like
that.
$150,000 one would be good?
Yeah, sure. Be handy. But also, sometimes I've said this to many people, we'll get a letter that says it's for the campaign with a $5 bill in it, and that's as important as the $150,000. It's just every gift counts, and it's really amazing. So you can do one-time donation or make a pledge over time. That's fine, and you can do online at helenafoodsshare.org. It's right on the front page, and it's very clearly marked that there's a match going on.
Right.
So very helpful
kind of
there.
a big deal right now.
Mm-hmm. And you can swing in the offices or give us a call at 406-443-3663. And again, that match is it's really, it's just a great opportunity for us to really take a big chunk out of what's left.
Right. Yeah, you're so close.
We're so close. I know.
So close.
So close.
Anything else to talk about before we wrap up for the day?
No, it's just been busy. That's the other thing is we're noticing it's still increasing. The kid pack numbers when they came in, it was up by 10% for last school year. 1,200, kid packs a week, and I think we distributed over 42,000, of those kid packs over the course of the whole school year, and we're seeing, there's lines that are pretty long, and there's people who have never come into Helena Food Share before who would need assistance because in the world in general things are, it's rent and bills and all of the things that are sort of forcing a group of people who may not have had to use Helena Food Share that often to be coming in pretty regularly.
Sure. And then the emergency food pack use was up last year as well. So you guys are busy.
We are busy.
Packing lots of food and helping a lot of people. So
exactly.
The bigger building is going to be even more important than we ever thought.
It's really a necessity. We sort of see it as very important for what we do and for the whole community, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it'll be nice to have everybody in one building and
the 3 separate buildings. We just keep thinking about we won't have to put our boots and coats on to walk over to pick up that file.
Right, find your yak tracks.
all of those little things are, and again the customer thing too. Will be able to just take care of people way better. Yeah. In that one space, it's just going to be much easier and efficient to get everything done.
Sure. All right, tell people one more time how they can get a hold of you.
So you can get helenafoodsshare.org. For any information, there's campaign information on the front page, or if you need to take a look at what we do or our hours and services, or you can stop in our offices anytime or give us a call at 406-443-3663.
All right. Thanks, Helena. We'll see you again next week.